Welcome to this Mindfulness Meditation Session. The intention is to start the year with practice of mindfulness. Some of you are joining us for the first time, so I'll take a couple of minutes to introduce the concept of mindfulness so that we become comfortable with the practice that we're going to do today. Mindfulness basically means being mindful of what we are doing, or becoming mindful of our thoughts, emotions, situations around us, and acting consciously rather than out of the programs that have been installed in our subconscious mind. As you may be aware that we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Our conscious mind constitutes about 5 to 10% of our brain, and subconscious mind is about 90%. And it's subconscious mind is the far more powerful mind. Our conscious mind can process data at the speed of 40 bytes per second, whereas our subconscious mind can process data at the rate of 40 million bits per second. So it's a million times more powerful. And it has a tendency to make programs out of everything. So for the sake of efficiency. So it is very efficient, but also these programs get formed in our mind unconsciously. So, if we are not getting the results that we want in our life, we need to go back and look at the programs that have been installed in our subconscious mind unconsciously so that we can review them and rewrite them. So that is what this practice of mindfulness is about. And what we are going to do today in next couple of minutes is to focus our attention on breathing. And this practice of focusing our attention on breathing is a very powerful practice. Breath helps us root our attention to the present. We can't take a breath that has just gone by, nor can we go to a breath which we are going to take. So using breath is a great way to root our attention to the present. So that is what we will do. It's a very simple practice. This will take about 10 minutes, and I'll invite you to focus your attention using breath as a medium. It's a very secular practice. There is nothing religious about it. And also, before we get started, I would like to bust some myths about mindfulness. Some people feel that it involves emptying of your mind. So people get scared, मैं आऊंगा यहाँ meditation करूंगा तो मेरे को दिमाग खाली करना पड़ेगा. I'll lose everything that I have. Mindfulness does not involve emptying your mind. It just involves observing our breath and observing our thoughts and emotions. So that is one of the things that I hear often from the participants. Another myth about mindfulness is that it will cause me to lose my competitive edge. I'll become peaceful and I'll not be able to perform at the same level that at which I'm performing. Whereas mindfulness it gives you the competitive edge. It does not take away the competitive edge because you're acting consciously, you're living consciously. You can be more effective rather than live out the programs which have been installed in our subconscious mind. Another myth about mindfulness is that it is very easy and it's very quick. Sometimes you may get results quickly, but mostly this is like a skill which takes time to develop. So some people may get results quickly, some people may take time. So be patient, be compassionate with yourself. Like we learn anything else, like swimming or cycling or writing, mindfulness is also a skill that develops over a period of time. So continuous practice is what is most important. I'll pause here to see if you have any questions before we dive into the practice of mindfulness. So if there is anything you would like to ask, I'll be happy to hear from you. So, hi, Anamika. Good morning.
Good morning. So I was a couple of minutes late. When we say mindfulness, we are focusing on the present moment. And you're saying that the practice you will help us develop is to focus on the breath.
Yeah, we'll use breath as a medium to
Right.
focus our attention to the present.
Fair
And
enough.
mindfulness basically means what it says, being mindful. And sometimes it's easier to understand mindfulness by looking at the opposite, which is the mindlessness. So sometimes you must have heard people say, why are you doing this mindlessly? Sometimes we just keep doing things mindlessly. So here we are doing things mindfully.
Yeah, so it goes beyond this practice of doing it throughout the day.
Yeah, you can do throughout the day. You can just focus your attention. Like one of the CXOs I know, he sets an alarm on his clock every hour, and he would practice mindfulness for 1 minute every hour. So he does it like for 1 minute, couple of times in a day. And, we can always be conscious of our breathing or of our emotions. And especially this becomes very helpful in anger management. So a lot of people have issues in managing their anger. So we can become mindful of our emotions. So whenever anger manifests, there is a change in our breath. So if you're used to tracking our breath, being aware of our breath, we can quickly realize that my breath is becoming shallow, the anger is rising, my chest is tightening, my fists are tightening. So, when we observe our breath and we are more in the moment, we are able to manage our emotions better. So awareness and regulation both happen as a result of being mindful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for asking that question, Anamika. I'll be happy to take any more questions or comments, doubts, queries you may have on mindfulness.
Okay, sorry, one more question. Before we come to this session, should we have come on a empty stomach or something like that?
No, that's it. That's okay. That's perfect.
Okay.
Empty stomach is fine, but even if you have just had a meal, it's okay. I just had my coffee, so that's fine. Yeah. Anybody else? And if you have no questions, maybe you could just share with us in chat or unmute and speak. What is your intention in joining this session? What would be a good outcome of this mindfulness session? There must be something that must have drawn you early morning on 1st January to this session. So what's your intention? What is it that you're looking for in this session?
Yeah, so since I spoke, I will say it's definitely emotional equanimity that I'm looking for.
All right.
Yeah, I find it sometimes, I take things personally and find it difficult sometimes to control my emotions when somebody says something. And I would want to develop that muscle.
Excellent. So thank you for sharing that, Anamika. There are 5 components of mindfulness. The first one is attention. The second one is awareness. Third one is acceptance. The fourth is ego identification, which is not taking things personally. And the fifth one is choice. These sessions, we are starting as a series. So we will conduct them over 12 weekends, except on 14th or 15th January when I'm traveling. We will do this every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. So please come in, and in one of those sessions, we will talk about ego identification and not to take things personally. Thank you for sharing that. I saw somebody unmute. Did you have a question or comment?
I was about to say more power to Anamika, ma'am.
More power to all of us. Thank you, Shruti. That was very sweet of you. Anybody else would, and if you have no questions, please type up your intention for joining the session today. We'll get started in a minute. So happy to hear from you. It's fairly good attendance, 19 people on an early mornings, 1st January. Reduce distractions. Shruti, thank you for sharing that. Now, this practice that we're going to do is very powerful in developing the muscle of attention and developing focus and concentration. And for elite performance, you need focus and concentration. So this 10-minute practice that we will do is very, very powerful. And we will share the recording in the group, so you could always go back and listen to this recording and do that 10-minute. I'll also see if I can cut out this, just the 10-minute meditation, which you can then use to practice. Good. So I'm seeing your comments coming in now. I think there was a gap. So we will take them up later. And now let's start with the mindfulness practice. I would urge you to keep your cameras on. That way I'm more comfortable. I can see what is happening with you. And, it helps me as a teacher to track you. So please keep your cameras on if you can. And I'll invite you to get started with the mindfulness meditation. Please sit with your back and neck in a straight line. Straight but not stiff. Be relaxed. Close your eyes gently. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, you may look down in a soft gaze. And focus your attention, entire attention, on the area at the entrance of the nostrils. Focus your attention, entire attention, at the area at the entrance of the nostrils, and observe every breath that is coming in and moving out. Observe every breath that is coming in and moving out as it is. This is not an exercise in regulating your breath. Just observe your breath as it comes in, as it moves up. Incoming breath, outgoing breath. Incoming breath, outgoing breath. Continue to breathe. It is possible that your mind may get distracted from time to time. Distraction of mind is not a mistake. It is its natural tendency. Every time you find that your mind has wandered away, gently bring it back to focus on the breath that is coming in and the breath that is moving out. Even if you have to do this a billion times, do it with compassion. Every time you find your mind has wandered away, gently bring it back to focus on your breath. Incoming breath, outgoing. Continue to breathe. Like a watchman, observe every breath that is coming in and every breath that is moving out. Like a watchman, be alert, be attentive, be vigilant. Let no breath come in or move out without your observing it. Continue to breathe, focusing your attention on every breath that is coming in and every breath that is moving out. In a couple of minutes from now, we will be coming to the end of this practice. And I'll share with you few intentions which you may choose for yourself for 2023. I will read these aloud for you. And if it resonates with you, you may repeat them. Continue to breathe. As we come to the end of this practice, let us consider setting these intentions. May the practice of being mindful help me. You may please keep yourself on mute. May the practice of being mindful help me and everyone I come in contact with today. May I experience peace and happiness. May I be healthy and fit. May I be prosperous. May I learn more, become knowledgeable and wise. May I get clarity in the important areas of my life. May I be humble enough to surrender the things I cannot control. May I live to my full potential. May I be grateful. May I enjoy my life to the fullest in 2023. I am grateful to you for taking out time this morning and joining me for the mindfulness meditation practice. Wishing you all a fabulous 2023. God bless you. You may choose to keep your eyes closed for a couple of seconds more and stay with the feeling. And once you are comfortable, you may open your eyes, unmute, and share your experience. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have about the practice. You may also unmute and wish everyone in the group good health and happiness for 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
experience. What better way to begin the new year than this?
Thank you. Thank you, Babaji.
Deeply grateful, and may each and every one present here and all around us have a wonderful, joyous and harmonious new year. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anamika. Thank you, Tanmay.
May I share something?
Yes, please, please.
Yes. So I would really like to add that I have been a Vipassana practitioner for over 35 years.
Oh.
And I have had the privilege of being in several courses with Goenkaji. And what is amazing is that he would always say to me, कि बार बार मेरे पास क्यों आती हो? बार बार यहाँ नहीं आना है. चलते फिरते उठते बैठते साधना कीजिए. अपने श्वास पे ध्यान दीजिए. And this is beautiful what you've said, that whenever we could bring our attention to our breath, it's not, it's the most satisfying purpose we could have in our lives, just observing our breath. And as you beautifully said, Ashish ji, that we will begin to observe that when we're agitated, how the breath alters. So thank you so much for bringing that awareness to all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ji.
Anybody who would like to, we have come to the end of the session. So in case you would like to leave, it's perfectly fine. Anybody would like to stay back and ask any questions, that is fine too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm really grateful, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you, Geeta.
Thank you, Ashish ji, for the wonderful experience. We are learning to capture our monkey mind that is wandering all around, even while focusing on our breath. So it's a great start to start with meditation.
Thank you.
Looking forward to future sessions.
No, that's very well said, Shivani. The mind rides on the breath. So if we can observe our breath, we can observe the mind and the changes. So very well said. Thank you for bringing that out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone, and wishing everyone a very happy New Year.
Hare Krishna, Girishi.
Ashish ji, though I joined late, I want the recording of this.
Yes, we'll be sharing in the group right after the session. So you can go through the recording. And I would also like to share with you, we have an exciting session on leadership gems from Bhagavad Gita at 5 p.m. today. So it's a 90-minute session. Please block your time and join. The session is being taken by Rakesh ji. He studied Gita deeply, and he applies this to all his business coaching sessions. So please come and benefit from the practical wisdom from Bhagavad Gita.
Send me the link. Thank you so much.
It's there in the group. It's there in the group. We will share it again. I have not been able to go through all the comments. If you have any questions regarding application of mindfulness to your particular situation, I'll be happy to address those questions or concerns.
Can you please repeat those 5 things: attention, awareness, and something you said?
Yes, Kalyani, surely. So there are 5 components of mindfulness. Attention is the foundational aspect of mindfulness. So we need to be attentive to be mindful. So that's the foundation. And once we start paying attention to our thoughts and emotions, situations, then we become aware. And awareness is the gateway to any positive change that we may want to bring in our life. And with awareness also comes the realization that there are things that I control and there are things that I don't control. So there is a very nice serenity prayer which says that God give me the wisdom to accept. Yes, anybody can, to accept things that, to change the things I can, it goes like, I can give me the
God gave me serenity to accept the thing I cannot change, and wisdom and courage to change what I can, and wisdom to see the difference.
To see the difference. So that's the acceptance part, which is very, very powerful. People think it's complacency, but acceptance is not complacency. It's a very high energy state of being. And then comes the ego identification, which is answering the very simple but very profound question, who am I? You know, and that question, answering that question can take the answer can I don't answer that question for anybody. So that's a question you just keep asking yourself, and you just, it's a journey when you ask that question, and that's a very fascinating journey. And the last one is choice, which is a superpower that we have, and it's only human beings who have a capability or ability to make choices. And that's where living consciously comes. So are we living out of the programs which have been installed in our mind, or are we choosing consciously? And our life is a total, sum total of all the choices that we have made in our life. So those are the 5 components, Kalyani. Thanks for asking that question.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We'll stay for a minute or two to see if anybody has got. Oh, Shruti has put them out. Very beautiful, Shruti. Thank you.
I just want to share, there's a variation of the serenity prayer, okay, which says, God grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know that it's me.
That's so beautiful, Anamika. And then on that very powerful note, we will bring the session to a close now. We will meet again next Sunday at 9 a.m. Please feel free to share the link of these sessions with your friends and family so that they can benefit from this practice also. The next session will be on body scan meditation, which may be a little longer. So I'll request everybody to block up to 40 minutes. And that's a practice you can do sitting or lying down. So please grab your yoga mats or be comfortable in whichever way. Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful 2023. God bless everyone. Thank you.